Find the good in the bad. 100 books, 100 lessons. In this episode, we're going to discuss a lesson that I learned in a book called Millionaire Success Habits. I had heard it before from Dean Graziosi, the author of this book, but it reinforced it when I read it in one of his chapters. This lesson is also something that Dan Sullivan has talked about, another success coach and author that I've read over the past couple of years. And this idea about finding the good in the bad is also something that touches on NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And Tony Robbins is a big fan of that, and he discusses that process or that technique in a number of his books as well. But I want to focus on Millionaire Success Habits and Dean Graziosi talking about this idea about finding the good in the bad. Before diving deeper, my name is Stephen and I am the creator of Struggling to Succeed. The idea behind this channel is to deliver bite-sized videos each week that can provide you with the tools, techniques and strategies that can help you get started on your personal development journey. If you started late, you might as well start here, and hopefully I can provide you with the fuel to get you moving forward. Find the good in the bad. This is a fantastic technique that really does work, and I've had to use it a lot in my first 5 to 7 years of my personal development journey. When I first started out, I probably had a little bit too much regret about maybe wasting 10 years or regret over missing opportunities at work or not focusing enough at university or not spending enough time reading books or educating myself since I left university. But this idea around finding the good in the bad really helped me reframe certain situations and certain time periods in my life. Whether it's a bad relationship or a bad couple of years where I just kind of repeated doing the same thing each weekend and didn't really move forward in my life, finding the good and the bad allows you to look at those situations and ask yourself, what was good about that? And then when you ask yourself that question and you find the good in those situations, you can then reframe them in your mind. And this is where the NLP, the neuro-linguistic programming, comes in. Because what you're doing is you're taking a negative relationship or a bad experience or a bad situation, and then you're reframing it, breaking it down, and finding the good in it. So the next time when you think about that situation or those wasted couple of years or that bad job experience, you're not thinking about it with regret anymore. You're actually finding the good in that. So when you do think about it again, you can be like, I learned a really good lesson there. And then it reframes it in your mind where you can draw on that lesson to then help you go forward and help you not actually make that mistake again. Another very successful entrepreneur puts this in a different way. Pain plus reflection equals progress. And that's Ray Dalio. I've actually talked about this idea before in a book review I did for his recent book, Principles, which you can check out in the iCard above. But this idea about pain plus reflection equals progress is the same as what Dean Graziosi was saying in Millionaire Success Habits. Find the good in the bad. If you're not looking at those bad situations, if you're not looking at the pain and then reflecting on that pain, you're not getting the progress. You're not moving forward in your life. Finding the good in the bad, or as Ray Dalio puts it, reflecting on the bad situations will help you progress, is a really key way to get started on your personal development journey, or to push by certain periods in your journey when you're feeling a bit stuck. We always come across regret, or we always come up to brick walls or areas where we can't really push by or push through. And sometimes that can be baggage that we are carrying from our past that is weighing us down. It could be because the last time we were put in a certain situation that we didn't do so well, or we failed, so we're thinking we're going to repeat that because we haven't really dug deep into that previous situation to really get the learning out of it so we can do better the next time. And I find that if you don't review yourself regularly and you don't look at the times when you failed or look at the times where you weren't as successful as you want to be to reframe it or even get the learning out of it, I find that you end up repeating those mistakes. I know this from my own direct experience in my own life. I definitely feel it in a number of different situations, whether it be within work situations in my 20s or within relationship situations again in my 20s. I kind of felt like I did the same thing 3 or 4 times in a row in 3 or 4 different jobs or 3 or 4 different roles or with 3 or 4 different people, whether it be a friendship relationship or a romantic relationship. I kind of fell into the same traps or fell into the same bad situations, but I didn't learn from it. And it wasn't really until I started my personal development journey and I started reading things like from Dean Graziosi and from Dan Sullivan and Tony Robbins and learning about this idea about reframing your past, all of a sudden when you hit those new experiences in your life, you're like, hold on a second, I've done this before. I've had a bad situation with somebody, or I've had a project go wrong. So rather than repeating the same mistakes, you're able to look at the good from the bad situations in the past and then put that learning into practice in the now. So this is something that I highly recommend that you try doing in your own life. It really has worked for me. It's something that I will actually do quite a lot in my life. I will get a journal out whenever I feel like I've hit a brick wall or I've done something wrong, and I will try to ask myself, well, what was good about that? What was good about that day? What was good about that meeting that I think went completely wrong? And generally, when you frame things like that, it's a little bit of a mindset trick and a little bit of a Jedi trick that you play in your mind, that you actually reframe those situations and moments in your life and you feel much, much, much better about them. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this idea about finding the good in the bad. If you like the video, hit that button for me as well. And also, don't forget to subscribe and follow along and get lots more content on my Struggling to Succeed journey. As I said at the start of the video, my mission here is to deliver bite-sized videos that can provide you with the tools, techniques, and strategies to help you get started on your personal development journey. Thanks very much for watching. I hope to see you next time. And as always, make it a good one.